Markets drop really, really aggressively. Now let's now think of this in terms of sellers. Okay, in terms of sellers, we're going to go very, very slowly from this. Okay, Mo Yeg, you're saying, can I ask a question? Absolutely. If you have a question based on what I'm explaining right now, go ahead and ask it. I will notice it. If it's a question that is not relevant to this, I'll have to, bypass it and maybe come to it later on. Okay. All right. So here we go. So the markets move all the way down, and we're going to look at it purely from the seller's perspective right now. Do you think whoever sold in here, okay, the people who know, right, not the chasers down here, the people who know, who sold from up there, how do you think they're mentally right now? How do you think they feel? Good, right? They're making some money, right? They're selling, they're feeling good. We're not talking about big boys who are bleeding. We're talking about just very, very high level of professional traders. Okay, professional traders who have gotten, they're making money. Now, Sam, very, very good point there. They want to exit. So let's say there is a resistance support here. Would you think they would like to cash out a little bit? Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I want you to watch closely at what I'm going to do. Let's say they cash out a little bit, and then you see this. Can you tell me what kind of cashing out did they do? That's a lot. That's a lot, and it's very aggressive. Okay, if you get biased at any one point, if you get biased in your mind that, oh, I need to sell, didn't you see that big sell? Oh, I finally got my pullback, yay, sell. You're gonna get in trouble. Don't do that sell. Because yes, it's a pullback, but the story says, why did they cash out so hard at this level? So far, so good. So in terms of pattern, it's a pullback. It's giving you a better price than before, but it's stupid. You don't want to do that sell. So far, so good. I'm going to twist it up a little bit. Twist it up a little bit. Okay. Okay, so that was pattern number one. Structure number one, hard reverse. Okay. I'm going to just call it hard rev. There you go. Okay, structure number two. They cash out a little bit, and it starts doing this. How do you think the sellers are feeling? Good. They're feeling confident. They're like, okay, we made some money, but this thing can probably go more. This thing can probably go more. That's the idea, and the mindset is saying you have to let your winners run. Now, here's the difference between a normal trader and a professional trader. A professional trader, his entire energy is spent on let the damn winner run. And I don't care if I make money only 20% of the time. I need to let the winners run so I can make that outstanding winner profits to cover all the little nonsenses throughout the year. So far, so good? So this is a sign of they feel good. They're not concerned whatsoever. Now, what makes all of you guys say they feel confident? What is it about this that makes you say, is it the pattern that makes you say, oh yeah, it's not a big deal? It's the momentum. It's the choppiness. It's the weak upward motion, right? So I'm going to call this the slow pullback. Okay? So far, so good? Now let's try something here. I'm going to change your mindset now. And you are Mr. Buyer. You're a buyer. Because in your mind, you must always buy when the price comes down. Okay? You must always buy when the price comes down. So you think only purely as a buy. So where would you try to buy from? Is this a good spot? From support? Or do you want to buy it only once it starts leaving? You want to buy it from support, right? It's more logical. It's like, let me buy from where it has proven that it buys from. So as price comes down, and let's do the first option. So the guy who's thinking of buying, he's like, I don't know. It came down really, 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 really hard. Will he buy? Less likely. Situation number one happens. Bam. Now, as a buyer, how do you feel? Frustrated. Damn, I missed it. Or, here we go. The buyers are coming back. The buyers are coming back, right? Now, the sellers are freaked out a little bit, and the buyers are now interested. They're like, oh, dude, it's becoming a buy. Did you ever notice when you have a strong down move and a strong up move, your market ends up doing this? Have you seen this pattern before? Have you ever wondered why that happens? Instead of saying, I know that pattern, have you ever wondered why that happens? It's because the reaction from this, the first reaction from that, invited the buyers. You invited the buyers to the party. You said, please come and fight with my sells. So now you know what kind of pullback is deadly. So far, so good? We're going to talk about classification number 2, the second part. Okay, I'm going to remove all this. Okay, now the second part, it stops here and he starts doing this for the buyers. How do you think the buyer feels? Weak. He might be saying, well, it is reacting. Okay, if I get a pullback, I'm going to buy it. Looks like it's going to go. He buys it. And then it goes up. How does he feel? It's so weak. It's not going anywhere. What do you think the buyer is going to do? There you go, TradeZinger. Abort, abort, abort. In this process of him aborting, sellers are like, all right, here we go. Buyers are going to quit at this point because they tried it, they got nothing. Our turn. It's our turn as sellers to continue. What just happened in that meter, what I was telling you about in terms of sellers and buyers, okay? Initially, the sell meter was very high from here. But as the sell comes down to this area, the meter goes towards the middle because the sellers are cashing out and the buyers are slowly trying to step in. As the meter goes higher and reaches this area, all the people who are trying to buy are now slowly coming towards the sell side saying it's not working. And the sellers are also starting to step in more and more and more as the buyers are leaving the table. This is why this area is slow. This whole area is slow. And then as the buyers quit, it tanks. The speed gets faster. Have you guys noticed after that congestionary period, the speed goes really fast? You can only do that if your meter goes towards one corner. And the only way to let the meter go to one corner is to allow that party to try first. So instead of continuing to sell through this level and saying it's going to go through no matter what, don't do that. Allow the buyers to try. Let them try, and when you can see, oh, they got nothing, then you step back in and say, here we go. Here we go. Because then you know they're going to let go of the gas pedal, and your sellers who are still very confident is going to say, oh yeah, baby, let's do it again.